bought a very old telescope, and let's just open and see how it is. I don't know what make or brand it is, so it's like a mystery. Let's open and see. Okay, I'll open the top layer, and it comes to this wooden box. It's covered with this cardboard, so I'll just try to remove these ones first. More of the packaging. When you buy things in the wooden boxes, you have to be careful, don't transfer woodworms to your property, so I have to check for any signs of the wood damage. Okay, I have now disinfected the outer surface with the isopropyl alcohol, and now I'm going to open the box. I don't know what I will find here. It's a wooden box. I don't see anything here damaged by the woodworms, so lucky. These are all the pieces. I have to be very careful with these rags. I will remove them. I don't want them to contaminate. Okay, let me just remove the rags. That's a massive finder scope. Never saw anything like this before. Oh, these handles, they look strange. I have to take a look in the internet forums. I see a few holes here that can be due to woodworm, so I have to be careful about that. That symbol. Anybody knows what is that? I have to study. What's that symbol? It looks like Mercedes-Benz or a T or a H or TH. T top part, lower part H, and a O. The whole thing like O. And Y also, reverse Y. That's just strange. Let me just remove the wrapping of the tube. Okay, I see a writing. I've disinfected most of the things. What is the writing here? HOC model number. It says model number. T-705. Diameter 77, focal length 1000, and number 17884. And that same logo again here. So I must say I'm impressed by this. This is really big. These sachets are practically useless. They may even contain some people. Just throw them away. Okay, I've now emptied everything that is here. And what I noticed is written in some letters. It's in Chinese or Japanese character, Yashio. Yashio is the name here. That's Y. And there are some numbers, probably. And Yashio. What is Yashio? I have to look. So I'm going to disinfect the whole thing to make sure that there is no woodworm here. I saw some evidence here. Okay, the tube rings for the scope watcher ED 72mm easily fits into this, so it fix it. And the funny thing about this focuser of the telescope is that you have to remove, you can actually manually take this out that much. Then with the fine focusing, you can do with the rack and pinion one. I have adjusted that is on the Chinese Japanese style 0.96 inch to 1.25 inch adapter, and I installed the 1.25 diagonal and it mount RKE 28mm. So practically I can use it now. This telescope is now in balance, and let's see how the image looks through this. So the image is good. Half of the system is of course the objective lens 77mm, and half is this eyepiece. I'm not bothered to refocus it again because that's what I get. And if I try to move it, because it's on a tiny Dobsonian mount, we just move out of focus. And the blackout you see kidney bean is because of the eyepiece. And the window, of course, bringing those little foots into focus and out of focus by moving them. So, okay, that was the view through this telescope. Good as it can be a 77mm telescope. It probably will benefit if it be on the proper mount, big tripod, and a mount that you can move it. The funny thing is that the dew shield can be shifted actually back and forth around 1.5 centimeter. So interesting. This is the cap, and I found that what is it is Japanese style, similar to the what it is called Swift 7831. Sorry, Swift 831, which at the 1960s, mid 1960s, was built by the Takahashi. So practically, this is a Takahashi. I have to clean the objective, but so far so good. So we're fiddly with the focuser. This is a nice finder scope, quite large. It's almost like a small telescope. And so this one, HOC, is all probably is Optical Company. Hushida, I don't know, but I'll have to look at it. But the symbol is known. It's a bit fiddly. You have to move this back, then adjust with this. So imagine you have to do this in the dark. It was acceptable maybe in 40, 50 years ago. Nowadays, no. With the Chinese advancement in optics, these things are now obsolete. The quality of the lens, I've noticed there are 3 spaces between the lenses. There should be. One of them is missing, and that puts a little bit of strain on the thing. So I may just remove it later and just correct it. Okay, do you see the 2 of the spacers? One is down here, and one is here. The corresponding one, which should be here, is missing. And I can see some fringe lines there when I'm looking visually at it. You may not see it. By the way, the lens needs cleaning, and when I'm cleaning it, I will just adjust the spacers. I may put something like aluminum foil or something. Of course, I've heard people say use postage stamps and such things, but that's an option if you want. So the eyepieces I have here: 9mm, 6mm, f6mm. I never heard of this, but probably f points to the focal length. HM is a Organian modified Again, another 6mm. So it seems that the eyepieces have been exchanged and moved between two telescopes. So these ones are not the ones that comes with this, because there are three 6mm ones. Probably one of them is the original one. I think this one is the original one. And there must be a 12 and 20 or 24, 25mm. But these two are something from somewhere else. Organians are good. Most of the discoveries in the history of astronomy were made by these ones. They're very bright at the center and on axis, very nice. Off axis, a little bit distortion, but yet they're bright. So that makes them really ideal. But the eye relief and the size of the lens for cleaning is tiny, so you cannot really do much. Interesting is the size and the shape of these knobs. These are the style for the Takahashi and old Takahashi, probably I should say, or Swift also. So I can identify it now. That's Swift or clone of a Swift. The Japanese used to share a lot of the specifications with them, and in patents that they created, they share it together. They are nice. You can use it on any telescope. So I'm looking forward to use them on tripod when I have the chance. These are counterweights and other things for the other parts. I didn't see any tripod. There is no space for putting the tripod in that box, wooden box. So I suppose the tripod comes separately, or it was just optical tube assembly, like expensive items. And this is of course a solar viewing screen that has been damaged by some kind of washing or abrasion, or it can be the sun has burnt it. It can be repainted and used. Okay, the hood, the dust cap, sorry, the hood, light protection hood. This is the cell holder for the lens, objective lens, and this is the whole objective lens. So I'm just going to clean this one. I'm not going to open the whole thing because I don't want to get involved too much in that without the proper tool. And that is the objective lens. I don't want to open it because it has a special tool. I can open it, but I don't want to do it now at this stage. I will just try to clean what is outside. What I noticed also is that the actual finder also had this kind of objective lens doublet once. So there have been one of the spacers have been sliding that direction. The way to put it in is to remove, unscrew either this side or that side and slide it into here, then put it back, either this side or that side, whatever, which one you open. Of course, this way you open, you put it this way. And but it is impressive that they have the spacer for this. That's a doublet also. Means quite paid attention to detail. I'm going to clean this and just put it back where it was. Okay, I'm going to actually open this lens cell, because I saw some lint, some stuff from a fabric get stuck into it, so some threads of fabric. So I'm going to remove that also. I tried to clean it, but I saw that those things are between the lenses, so that's not good. So I'm going to remove. So for moving the lens, I just use this knife edge. It's an old knife, so easily moves it. And I'm going to open it. So this now comes off, this retaining ring, and this lens is available to open it. I'll bring a tray because I don't want to make a mess. So now I place the tray. I remember the positions of those, recording it, the position of those spacers, and I will try to do something about them when I'm done. So the whole lens assembly comes out. This is one lens. This is the second lens, so it's a doublet. So these things are here, spacers are here, and if I closely look at them, they look like a foil kind of thing. Let me just have a look. very thin foil. So I try to put something in the opposite. Remember, this is the face inward, that's the face outward, and that's the face inward again. So, and they go into this cell in that order. This goes inside here, and then that goes over it. Okay, I'll put a tiny dot of the tiny pieces of a piece of a aluminum foil with a dab of the glue, just normal glue, no super glue or anything. And now I'm going to put these things back together. Okay, now I'll put them together. And that's the new piece I've placed there. Okay, I'll just show you how I'm putting this together. I put them together. Now, this is the top part, that's the bottom part. So, this is the part which holds the lens together. So I'm doing it reverse. Then I put my hand under this and turn it over with holding this side in my one hand and this side in my other hand. So that will slide into space, will be stopped by this edge. Then I put the ring back. Okay, I put the two lenses back together. As you can see, there is some purple coating on this, so that's good. Okay, I've now put the lenses back together and I'm going to put this retaining ring. Now remember that I have to put this ring first. There is a second ring here. It doesn't screw anything, it's just a spacer. And then this one, which is screwing in, comes on and I will tighten it. So I tightened it first with hand, then I tightened it with this knife edge, and it is now back to the way it was. Of course, when you remember that these lenses are concave convex, so beside videoing it, I know that that helped me. But they're concave convex, so they join together in that concave convex position. So there is no way to misplace them, because otherwise you will just have something which is different from the focal length and the arrangement that it was originally. So I'm going to put it back on the lens assembly. So the lens cell is now assembled again and is ready to go to its place. Yeah, the lens cell is back. Let me just clean this one also just a little bit, just to give it more nice things. Nice shiny look. Okay, the lens cell is now cleaned as much as possible. I don't want to really scratch or anything. You know, it already has some scratch, so I will assemble it now. Okay, so now the dew shield also put it back. As you can see, this comes this amount out. It's quite a small dew shield, so I suppose it's a small telescope, but I can make it bigger if I want. I can extend it. And there are 3 screws here that actually can tighten it up more in position. And that's the cap. Okay, the scope actually fits here perfectly, but the cell cannot actually fit here. So what I will do, I put the cell here. I will cover it with aluminum foil on top. So I've covered the objective with this aluminum foil. Aluminum foil doesn't have any fabric or anything that can go and or anything particles falling from it, as far as I know. So it will keep the mirror, the objective lens clean. And the other side has a cap, so it will be safe here. The only thing remaining is to just put some clean stuff to keep these things from moving inside the box.